All right, all right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? I've been saying hello to everyone. I need y'all to make. I came on just a tad early, so y'all can pick it out for me. Either a shot. What I have in this refrigerator, it was given to me by the hotel people. It is a Shiner, which is a Texas beer, or a Louisiana beer that I've never had before. So y'all get to pick. Do I drink the Shiner from Texas, or do I drink the Louisiana beer from Louisiana? So, but y'all can pick, and I'll drink one of them. I've had one of them. I've just never had the Louisiana beer. We got Rusty Taylor was in the house first. David Wilcott, Pistol Pete, yes, and we will talk about the UAW strike. I had it written down here. DB's in the house. Whoops. It's a bad thing when you're on these chats. Stuff comes through and you're trying to scroll through and you hit it. Got Mike High, Dirt Track, Len Holtz. He is saying, playing project manager this week, taking quotes on home improvement projects. Yeah. X Ring just dropped a video on the MPA DS9 long term. Yeah. Lake Ozark guy. Cajun beer, I guarantee. All right. We only have one vote so far from Pistol Pete. Hello, David Wilcott. How are you? Um, yeah, so y'all can pick and I'll crack it open. Or you know what? I've already had the Shiner before. I guess we'll try the Louisiana beer. It's called the Boot. Louisiana exclusive. It might taste like you're drinking a boot. Who knows? It's called Abita Brewing Company. No, it's not Pearl. Hmm. Doesn't taste bad. Trying to think, it tastes like something that I've had before. Tastes like Lone Star, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it tastes okay. Yeah, I had to, I don't know. I might have to take 3 or 4 more sips. No, Pearl was originated in San Antonio, Texas, I thought, but I could be wrong. Vodka, yeah. Yeah, I prefer whiskey, y'all know that. At this particular hotel, they have like a, uh, what do you call it? Like a members deal or whatever. So happy hour kind of thing if you're staying here. It's at the Hilton, um, or the Hampton Inn, I'm sorry. And so they give free beer and they had all kinds of stuff tonight, but they didn't have any whiskey. So, hello, Abigail. How are you? I know I keep thinking if I'm going to have to sneak up to take a drink because I'm it definitely has a weird scent to it. Probably it kind of smells like probably fast, like feet and ass, dirty feet and ass. But anyway, yes, Mike High, I know what drinking in the boot is. That's why I said that. Yep, that's been around, man, way back when. Pepto Bismol. Yeah, I might need some after I drink the boot. But what I was talking about is, what impresses you? That was kind of the title of this chat tonight, or the name of this chat. What impresses you? And what I wanted to ask was, like, what impresses you? Is it, like different guns, cars, homes, and it can be multiple things. But like, when you look at something, what do you look at? Do you look at the quality, the fit and finish? Do you look at if and I'll tell you mine, but is there really a lot that impresses you? Because I notice the older I get, there's not a whole bunch that impresses me. Um, but I wanted to hear y'all's input. Like, is it performance cars? What is it with you guys and ladies? What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? Wishing I could be drinking right now. I work tonight. Okay, gotcha. Pistol Pete, women impresses Pistol Pete. All right. I have me a good one at home. Matter of fact, I think I'm going on, what is it, 32 years? Yeah, it's coming up on 32 years pretty quickly. I think it's 32 years, 31 years, 32 years. Hell, I hope it might be 31 years. I might be wrong. I'm a guy. I just know the day. She's lucky I know the day. Let's see here. Dennis Buckner saying not much impresses me anymore. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was really thinking about this because I hear people all the time that either leave a comment, "Oh man, I'm impressed with that gun," or "I'm impressed with this," or "That impresses me." And I've heard people talking, "Oh man, that's an impressive car, impressive, watch, impressive, whatever." Um, I don't really get excited about stuff that much. The only thing that probably really kind of tweaks, gets my senses going, if it's an old classic car and it's been either retro modded or taken back to OE or something like that, where it's really nicely done, like a ground up restoration, something like that, where I can look at it and I'm like, they did a hell of a job on this. Um, and if it's an impressive car that I like, classic car, um, that kind of impresses me because I've done it. I know the work, the time, the effort. I know all of that it takes to put into that. So that part is very impressive to me. Or to build like a tricked out engine or something like that mechanical. That really impresses me when I see somebody take the time and the effort and everything to do something like that. But just like a car off the line, like a Corvette or something, that's kind of like bought, not built. Um, I mean, they're nice, they're cool, but it's just not doesn't impress me very much. So, guns, there's really nothing out that is like really really impressive to me. I mean, that I haven't experienced. I'm not trying to, like I have everything guy or been there, done that with everything. I'm sure there's something that would impress me, but um, I don't know. It just like when I was younger, I was like, oh man, that's cool, and stuff like that. But now I guess as I get older, it's like I've seen that, done that, seen people do that, that kind of thing. So it's just not as impressive. Abigail, that's funny. Let's see here. David Wilcott, what impresses me, how much my alcohol tolerance, like the stock market, sometimes high and low. Yeah. Great engineering behind something impresses me. Here's Abigail. I was impressed when the doctor told me my liver was healthy. There you go. I like the shift to a lot of 2011 pistols that are being improved on. The 1911 lives on. Yeah, I mean that is cool. They've been doing it for a while, but I mean I do agree with you. There are some cool things there. Mercedes 300 SL. Yeah, I mean Harry, it's a cool car. It's just, I don't know. I can't afford a car. I might have to start walking. I don't even want to know how much they will cost after a 36% raise for employees. Yeah, and like I said, we're going to get into that. Matter of fact, I was talking to Harry about that the other day. Lynn Holt says, without mentioning names, I have a firearm in the hospital. Plastic surgery over a front sight. Monday will be a month. Is that long, or is it a quality outfit? Uh, it's a quality outfit. Well, I mean, mention the names. Hell, we're all family here. Tell us who it is. Not going to hurt any feelings. I mean, if it broke, it broke. If something happened, it happened. That's true, Lynn. Yeah, I mean, customer service is a big, big deal. So I mean, I get that. Or if you have like a really good waitress, since I travel so much, nice waiter, good waitress. I mean, that's good to have that kind of service, but it's almost to be expected. Yeah, I was gonna say that's coming for all of it. Yeah, and see, that's the difference between bought horsepower and built horsepower. That's kind of what I was talking about, Abigail. You can buy, I mean, Hellcats and stuff like that. They're cool. You can even do more to them also, but you could go buy a Hellcat Red Eye and keep up with and blow away actually not 70 or 80% of the vehicles out there right now. But it's impressive when you have a car that's built to do things like that. That I don't know. I guess that's just the old school guy in me, because we always used to say, "Build it, don't buy it." But I understand now you can buy it. Back then you couldn't. Um, I've been in so far this week. I've been in Mississippi. I've been in Louisiana. I'm in Louisiana again. I had to drive through Louisiana to visit customers, then go up into Mississippi across the river, just right over across the river in Natchez, see customers there, and then come back through Louisiana. So I'm in Louisiana tonight, and I'll be heading back home tomorrow, seeing customers on the way. So it's been one big, huge circle of seeing customers. So I've driven a lot. I left out on Sunday so I could get down and be able to crank it off first thing Monday morning to see the customers. So, it's been a long week already. But there's a lot of hot single ladies in my area. There you go. I don't know about this beer. Just sitting here, I can smell it. It just smells weird. Probably got that Cajun water in there. That's funny. David, that side is a scam. Um, Also, if anybody's interested, QVO did put up a video. Safariland released the new 5-inch Safariland holster, and it will fit SROs now. The hood will, SROs, Acro P2s, even the Holosun competition. So if you want like a duty type holster, or a battle belt type holster with a level 3, now they're available. So he's got a video on it if you want to check it out. I heard it was coming, but I didn't know officially when it was going to be out. Also on the UAW strike, like I said, Harry and I were talking about that the other day. I've had some people, because of the automotive business I was in and still kind of am in, had a bunch of people reach out to me. How do you think it's going to affect it? What's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be good. Because it does not only hurt, like a lot of dealers right now, especially in some of the big truck areas, they have tons of cars and trucks on the lot that are just sitting there with the interest rate. A lot of people aren't buying. Ford does have 0% on 2 models, the E-Mustang and one of those other little SUV things. So they are 0% there. But, there's not a lot happening. There's not a lot of people buying new cars right now, so a lot of them are sitting. So the UAW strike, it's going to make people buy more cars because they're not going to build any cars if they're on strike. Also, what it's going to do, it's going to hinder the economy. So the economy is even going to go in the shitter more because all of the vendors that produce a product for those vehicles, hitches. Ford doesn't make hitches. A company does. It's Kurt. That's who manufactures the hitches for Ford. So it's going to affect Kurt because they're not going to be, sending those to Ford. A lot of the vendors will be affected. So, and some of the smaller vendors who are more boutique, this could force a lot of them into bankruptcy or out of business, like it did way back when they had to strike the last time with Chrysler and everybody. A hardtop company went out of business who made all the hardtops for the Jeeps. So that's where it's a trickling effect. So if they strike now, or this continues to go on now, this could last and trickle down for sometimes 24 to 36 months after. I mean, it could be depending on how long it lasts and all the other stuff. So it's not good. It's also going to increase the price of the cars. Uh, Ford and Chevy and GM and Toyota and all them will keep their billions that they're making, but they will, or actually Ford's losing a ton of money because it's e cars. They invested heavily in that, and it's not paying off, which I knew it wouldn't. But it could definitely have a trickling effect on the economy and going forward. So just be prepared for that. So if you want to buy a car or truck, now might be the time to buy it. Put it this way: if you have to have one, now might be the time, because as the dealerships thin out on vehicles with demand, if it happens, they're going to be harder to get and they're going to be more expensive, just like it was during the time. So, hello, William Bader. How are you? Hello, Brian. Floridian's in the house. Let me catch up here. So it will be interesting to see how this all pans out. Who knows? Union Joe will fucking union and force them back to work like he forced the railroad years ago. Best friend works for CSX. Yeah. Um, it's a mess, man. And I agree. I don't want to pay for any bailouts and things like that. Um, I mean, think about it now. We're paying for the biggest bailout in the world right now, and that's Ukraine. So we just keep giving them money like we owe it to them. Yeah. Ford's cut build lines, Chevy's cut build. I mean, they've all been cutting for quite a while. Um, so they're not running the maximum shifts anymore, and personnel. However, with the UAW union, a lot of those guys, when you sign, or ladies and guys, when you sign contracts with them, a lot of them, even if you're not working, you're getting paid. Some you don't, some you do. If you're tenured, you do, but it's still a bad thing. Yeah, and another bad thing too is if parts go bad on your vehicle, they have a section that's called build for line or keep to line, meaning they'll keep all those parts active. So if they do go back on or whatever and start building again or running more shifts, they want all of those parts in stock, not that they're on back order. So if you have a newer vehicle that requires that part, it can be on intergalactic back order and you can't ever get it during situations like this. That's a possibility too. So just keep that in mind. Body control modules, PCMs, main computers, wiring harnesses, things like that, they're going to hang on to them. You're not going to get them as a part. Even if you need them, they don't give a shit. So, but yeah, but that's what is happening to Ford right now, Brian. Nobody's buying that shit. Nobody. They invested so heavily in that, even prior to the UAW strike. They have been losing. I think they lost. God, what was it? It was like, well, I can't remember the exact number, and I don't want to talk out of my butt. But Ford lost their ass investing in these e-commerce or e-vehicles. So they put the most money into it and lost the most money. So that just shows you kind of what's going on with that world. What's up, Chicago Mike? How are you, man? Um, also, I posted that I painted that rifle, and I didn't just paint one rifle, but um, painted that rifle, and some people lost their shit. They were like, "Man, why would you spray paint a rifle? That's ridiculous. You know, you just messed up and blah 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 and did this and did that." I had a lot of people say it looked really cool. Um, and I do what I want. Y'all know that. I don't ask for approval from people. Uh, but I had some people like, "Oh man, that's the Dollar General store version. You should Cerakote. You should do this. You should do that." And apparently, I was like, "Well, you're new to my channel because I have that stuff too." But to send every gun out for Cerakote and stuff like that, why? Um, you can use Cerakote, Duracoat, and they do last for a very, very long time, but they'll still show some scratches here and there and stuff like that. Then one guy was like, "Oh, it's just going to be peeling right off instantly." Um, doesn't matter if it does or not. Who cares? Also, one of those rifles that I painted had a stainless steel barrel, and I guess somebody recognized it before, and they were like, "Was that the rifle with the stainless steel barrel?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can you spray paint it over stainless steel?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Who cares?" They're like, "Oh, that's blasphemy. That's crazy. That's stupid." So, which y'all's opinion? Do y'all spray paint rifles? And some people, and I was joking around and I was like, don't be scared. Are you scared to do it? Some people were like, "Yeah, I'm scared. I'd never paint uh, any of my rifles." And I had some people say, "Oh, I would only paint cheap rifles." I'm like, "Well, that rifle wasn't cheap. I've done cheap ones, expensive ones. I mean, it doesn't matter to me." The big screen is frozen. Am I freezing up? Hopefully, I mean, I'm moving around and stuff on my end. Hopefully, I'm not, shows I have good internet, but that doesn't mean much. Let's see here. Ford built tough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, new vehicles are more expensive than most people are willing to pay. I mean, hell, Harry and I were talking about that, for an F-150 truck's 90 grand, loaded, of course, 90,000 plus. I mean, it's crazy. Ford lost $1 billion on e-vehicles, but federal government gave them that, and some they don't report. Inventory isn't moving. Local Ford dealer has his first EF-150, and it's been sitting for 157 days. Yeah, I've got a lot of Lightnings at dealers that I know of that are just sitting there. Nobody wants them. Okay, good. I'm working. Okay. Yeah, and some of the times in these hotels you can't ever tell. Yeah, I have a $2,500 rifle. Abigail saying that spray painted. Yeah, I mean, spray paint it. I mean, it didn't hurt it. You just want to wrap up stuff. Like I don't just spray it down the barrel, and I do close the, your little ejection deal and stuff. I mean, I do that kind of stuff. But on this one, I actually left the charging handle and everything. I spray painted the charging handle as well. But yeah, some people just don't. They get all freaked out about it. Well, they might not be during this UAW strike, Chicago Mike. Pistol Pete saying, do any of you guys do TikTok? A long time ago, I did a TikTok and I actually did a video on it. It's way back, but I did an experiment. I said I was going to do a TikTok account just to see. Of course, they hate guns. They were blocking all my content. And then, I guess to punish me, what they kept sending me was young, um, very young girls dancing and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is disgusting. And you look at all the comments and all this other stuff. I mean, a bunch of pedos were on there, and I'm like, nah, this isn't for me. So I think I had it for maybe like 6 weeks, and I dumped it. I'm like, nope. I'm not doing this crap. So it's not for me. If y'all want to do it or if people do it, hey, it's free. Or free country. Do what you want to do. Yeah, David, if you have to haul, like, the e-trucks, if you have to do any kind of towing, don't buy one. Super, super hot can affect it and super, super cold can affect it. Slows your charging. Hell, if you look at the new Hummers, there was guys that said it took their Hummers like 2.5 days to fully charge. 2.5 days, not 2.5 hours, 2.5 days. That's ridiculous. I mean, and that was on a supposed, fast charger. Oh, Rusty. Rusty said he was guilty of saying I would only paint the lower end rifle. Yeah, hell, dude. I mean, you didn't hurt my feelings. Um, I always tell everybody do what you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. But it was just funny that I had a lot. I had some people literally saying you're stupid, you're crazy. People say, hey, I wouldn't do it. That's cool. Do what you want to do. I put a mag in the rifle, wrap the trigger, muzzle device, anything with information on my optics, iron sight apertures, and lenses. Yeah, I do the mag. Sometimes I won't. I'll just tape it up in there. I'll jam a rag up in it. Wrap the trigger. I don't wrap the triggers. I like the triggers painted. Cartridge triggers, put it that way. Muzzle device. I usually paint the muzzle device too. Um, I'll stick something down the barrel sometimes, or I just won't spray into the barrel. After it's dried, I always run a snake through it anyway. But I've painted tons of triggers and never had a problem. But some people don't like the feel of that on there, or they're like it's going to wear off, it's going to crack, it's going to brittle, it's going to fall in there. I've never had a problem with it. Keep Wranglers. Their batteries only last for 2 years. Hey, what's up, Mateo? How are you, man? Yeah, I'm drinking some kind of The Boot Louisiana exclusive. It's not all that great. Jeep. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Batteries, there's only like what, three battery manufacturers, I mean, in the nation right now. It's Exide, Interstate. I think there's one more. Well, you've got Optima. I'm not talking about gel batteries. Um, all the batteries are shit now except Interstate. I mean, they're all shit. Other than your gel batteries and your Interstates, they are about the best batteries out there still. Kraken rum. I haven't had Kraken rum in a long time. Not a huge rum drinker, but I have had that before. The spiced Kraken or something. I think there's different versions of it, but so as far as spray painting things and stuff like that, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, that's cool too. Um, I just say do what you want to do. Let's see. Anyone heard about how some companies trying to take out points on credit cards? Yes, David, I have. I had one try to hit me uh, for because of the what is it, the new 2% or 4% or whatever they're trying, to have people pay on. Like if you go somewhere and pay cash, you don't get accelerated with these credit card fees or whatever. I had one of mine because I use my credit card, so I get a lot of points, and then I just buy shit with the points. I had one that withheld some points for me, and anyway, they were, I was like, what the hell? So I had to call them because I couldn't use the points for some reason. So I called them and I'm like, what the hell is this? And they're like, oh, we've frozen the points right now, blah, blah, this, blah, blah. Then I would like, what do you mean? That's my money. When we were doing this, you had the agreement that you were going to give me those points and give me that cash, so to say. And they're like, well, we're not saying we're not going to give it to you. And I'm like, well, right now I want to use it. I was just being a dick, or not being a dick. I was just wanting to use the points. And anyway, they were like, well, I said, no, no, no. We had an agreement. I said, if you don't release my points right now, I will shut this card down. And I said, I mean, perfect score, all that shit. So I will shut this sucker down. And they were like, oh, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Well, I'll call and get them released. So they supposedly called somebody and called me back like 30 or 40 minutes later and said, oh, yeah, you're good now. They're released. So I was like, what the hell's that about? So I had one that tried to do it. The other ones are still there. No, I get it, Abigail. I totally understand. Totally get it. Only thing that catches my fancy these days are the new Colts and lever actions. I can appreciate an old lever action. Frozen the points, what a scam, yeah. Well, I think what they're doing is they're actually trying to take some of the points back. Or I did hear one of my buddies told me this. He had a bunch of points that were saved up, and they said, if we allow you to have these points, we have to lower the points. How did they tell him? They have to lower the points. God, what was it? They had to lower the points because it exceeded, or something, he exceeded his points value or something like that. And I was like, what do you mean you earned those points? They gave them to you. Now they want to take them back. I mean, that's like saying, hey, you made 50 grand, but now we need to take, 20,000 of it back. I mean, that's stupid. So anyway, I said, call him, bitch at him. So I don't know what the outcome of it was. That was a couple of weeks ago. The 82 and 86 actions are really the only ones that blow my skirt up. Yeah. Feels good to have your skirt blown up every once in a while. Well, that's the thing, Lake Ozark guy. On mine, I read all the fine print. I'm that guy, because I want to see if it's a good deal or if it's kind of scammy. Because when I select my credit cards, I work them in a way that benefits me. Always have. I used to, I find the loopholes in things and I exploit them to my benefit. And yeah, it wasn't in the fine print on mine. So that's how I caught them. I'm like, you can't do this. Well, we're not, no, 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 you can't do this. So anyway, I guess some people, and also there probably some people are just like, oh, okay, just let me know. I'm not that person. You take my shit, we're going to figure it out. Did anyone see the audience view of the UN when dipshit was speaking? They were yawning, looking at their watches, laughing, sleeping, and talking with the people sitting next to them. Every time he does that, usually if somebody else is talking, he's the one falling asleep. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, like when he gave that speech for the Naval Academy, they were all laughing at him. And then he fell. Yeah, and that's another thing. Speaking of that, Rich B, I have, speaking of that, I'm at a Hilton, I'm at a Hilton property tonight. So I've been diamond forever, but at the end of every year, it's usually around Christmas time, I donate all my points. I've talked about that before, to Justin's Final Mission and all that other stuff. So I even talked to Hilton, and what is it, IHG, choice privileges. I mean, I've talked to a bunch of them, and some of them will not. They'll allow me to give the points, but they won't decrease like me from a diamond down to a gold or a silver. They'll keep me where I am because I'm donating the points. I had one hotel line that wouldn't do that. They knocked me when I donated those points. They knocked me all the way down, and I'm like, that's horseshit. I'm not donating. I'm donating them to a charity, um, and they were dicks. So I don't stay at that particular hotel line anymore. Yeah, Lake Ozark guy. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. I see you. I see you. Oh yeah, man. You buy your groceries on. You do a lot of man. You can do pretty well with that if you work the system correctly. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I have this weird feeling. I just have this weird feeling that something's coming with that whole deal, with the JB deal. Uh, I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy guy or something, but I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that something's coming. And I mean, I'm not talking about, I know they're going to try to pull this crap again. They're going to try to do that again. But um, I don't know. I have a feeling that all of a sudden he's going to come out incoherent or sick or something, and somebody else is going to step in, and you know who I'm talking about, Cackle. So I don't know. Something's just weird. Call me what you want to call me. I just think something's weird. Mateo out working, seeing customers. Like I was saying, I did Mississippi and I'm in Louisiana tonight. So just out visiting customers. I was kind of thinking something like that too, Pistol Pete, because I mean, there's a way they could do that too, but I don't know. Yes, Rich B, I agree with you on that. Yes, sleeping in many beds. That's what I'm kind of going there too, Mateo. Nancy wants her boy in there. I'm glad that's done. Yep. I won't be having another one of those. Yeah, who knows? Anything out there? Have y'all been seeing all these big sales that everybody's throwing out there? I mean, you can get like some uppers really cheap. Heck, I was talking to Sugar Bar Philosopher. Those PSA 5.7, the Rock. Hell, they're selling those for 299 now. Uh, I mean, it's like you look at stuff, and I mean, they're just giving it away, a lot of stuff. So if you definitely need like optics and uppers and triggers or any of that kind of stuff, definitely now's the time to buy it. I mean, I saw bulk carrier groups, Nitron or nitrided bulk carrier groups for like, what was it, $59? That's pretty damn cheap. But they're definitely giving away stuff. So let's see here. Big J, what is your six typical call with a customer usually? Laugh out loud, like lunch, dinner, drinks, etc. Not really. Going in, to their office, sitting down, talking to them about their business, how to grow their business, how I can help them grow their business. Finding out who their direct customers are and why they are using those particular customers. Um, And then sometimes working out some rebate programs, things like that, incentives. Um, a lot of it is real business oriented. Some of it's just I've got customers already on the juice. They're doing good. They're cooking along. I'm just going in to check on them, see if there's anything wrong with delivery, anything wrong with, something like within the organization is are we dropping the ball anywhere? Anything we can do better? Those kind of things. Sometimes there's lunches, like taking them to lunch, stuff like that. Sometimes it's involved, but um, I try not to. I mean, I've got customers that I've played golf with before in the past and stuff like that, but I try to keep it really, at the business, so I can go through their inventory, see who they're, I can literally look around and get a feel for the business. I mean, I've been doing this stuff so long, I can do it in my sleep, but there's some customers, oh, I'm doing this. They'll tell you this on the phone, but when you go there and look, they're not doing what they're telling you. They're using someone else or whatever. So that's kind of how it goes. Catch back up here real quick. Oh, Brian, I haven't seen that. That's cool, man. I didn't know I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't know. I've never seen it personally or anything like that. Mateo says, I've about had it with PSA. How long have they been promising the micro dagger? They can sell the micro slides, but not the whole gun or frame. Seriously. Yeah. I know that has been, God, what has it been like? Over 2 years? I think it's been over 2 years they've been saying that. It was kind of like the Jackal, though, too. They finally came out with it, but. IBG is saying, Big J, what do you think of shotguns? What are your favorites? Just recently became interested when I came across the Beretta A300 Patrol and 1301 Tactical. I like shotguns a lot. I've got several of them. Um, my favorites, because I've talked about this numerous times, but I have the big hand problems. I own 870s. I own Wingmasters. I have a lot of those, but they're not my preferred. My preferred are Mossbergs because of the top thumb safety. It's ambidextrous, but it's on the top, and my hands are big, so I can work it with my thumb. The little push-in ones, they suck because they're so small, and my fingers are so big. I have a hard time pushing them in, and they're also kind of, if you're trying to go through it fast, it just gets into the trigger guard sometimes. It's just a personal thing with me. Nothing against, that they're good quality shotguns. And Beretta are nice shotguns. Um, so highly recommend them. And 99% of people love them. So you're not going to have a problem with them. But I'm just a Mossberg fan personally. My favorite tactical shotgun is the 590A1. That's just a me thing. Um, the Berettas are going to work great, all of that. I'm just a big Mossberg fan. Don't let them pull a Bud Light. Yeah. Brian will send some pics. Cool. Ooh, man, I hope you get better. He's got the coof. All right, man. Take care. Appreciate it. I thought they did release it, but I don't know. Yeah, Rusty. I think that's the one I was talking about. I thought it was 59 because they've got a 12% off right now too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Langdon Tactical makes some good stuff. Pistol Pete. Yeah, you definitely got that right. Guess I could rinse it out with some toilet water I have here. I hate this freaking water. But that, man, they have this everywhere. Probably because they're trying to give it away. Yeah, Abigail, I've got a Sweet 16. It's a good shotgun. Very good shotgun. Hello, Clyde. How are you? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, shotguns, I mean, they definitely serve a purpose. There's a lot you can do with them. Sometimes for some people, especially 12 gauge, they're not real user friendly for smaller frame people, young people, some, you know, frail or I guess, maybe some young ladies, they're not real user friendly too. They can kind of beat them up. But I learned on a 12 gauge shotgun. That was my very first shotgun I ever shot. Was a 12 gauge. Very young. I think I was 11 when I shot a 12 gauge. I did have a 410 snake charmer that I shot snakes and crap like that with. My grandfather got it for me. I shot with it quite a bit. But then I was like, this 410 sucks. And, because I was always a bigger kid. I was tall and big. So I didn't play with a 16 gauge. I didn't play with a 20 gauge. I just went right back to a 12 gauge. Not saying 16 and 20s are bad. It's just, I like to feel a shotgun. If I'm going to shoot a shotgun, I want to feel it. So that's just me. Oh my gosh, Brian, don't even get me started on that. When I saw that, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. It's so ridiculous. That's like 5 billion IRS agents. The 520 gauge, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some people don't, it just depends on your stature and things like that. I mean, I'm a big old galoot, so you know, I mean, they still bump, but they don't like throw me backwards. 10 gauges are not fun. I own a 10 gauge, and it's not fun to shoot. Yeah, I saw that. Rich. Mike from Tactical Considerations. His happened. I think it happened to a bunch of people. But I'll be honest with you. The And I've called out that mag numerous times. CZ has that one mag with that stupid base plate. It comes on all the SPO1s. It's that dumbass base plate. I don't even know why they make that piece of shit. Every time you hit it and you scoop it, it blows the fucking thing apart. So I have plenty of those mags, and I've changed the base plates on it to fix that. The spring is undersprung for that base plate, and they all pop off. They're just crap. So change out the base plate on them. Yeah, I had a bunch of people asking me, or like, I don't know, it was about the past month, if I was going to get any or get AKs, or if I had any AKs, and I don't have any AKs right now. I've had them in the past. Um, a lot of them with the receivers, the stock receivers, the wooden ones, they're just too short for me. They're not comfortable to shoot. I'm not saying they're bad guns. They're not. Um, but I find myself always gravitating back towards an AR-15 uh, or an AR-10. That familiar setup, which I'm more used to. It's just a me thing. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. They work great. They definitely run, but I just don't. They're just kind of not for me. Um, Not saying, I'm glad that I've had them in the past. So if I ever had to grab one, I know how to use it. And I took an AK class one time, and it was just so, man, I was so crunched up on it. But that's a me problem, not a most people problem. Yeah, and I know you can get the extended handguards, Abigail. I know you have, and I've been able to shoot those before, and I do prefer those definitely. And with my vision, I do prefer, to have the rail on them, which that kind of gives you on some of the setups on them. Peep sights, it's just with my vision now as I've gotten older, they're just not user friendly for me. But if I can get a dot on it, that's definitely preferred. Hello, Chris. How are you? I think Chris is having a chat after this one. I think his starts at 8 o'clock. So y'all go over and tune into him. I believe I'm correct. I'll try to go over and say hi. I think he's doing one tonight with Spectre, I believe. I think I saw it. So if I'm wrong, correct me, Chris, but I think I'm right. I think he said something about stock guns versus modified guns. Oh, next week. Okay, it's next week. Sorry. Yeah, and there are a lot of people that do that, Lynn. I've heard of a bunch of people. Like if you're going to go shoot clays all day, a lot of people prefer 20 gauge. I've never gone out and shot in clays all day. Yeah, the prism scopes are awesome, especially if you have an astigmatism, which I do in both eyes. Um, I definitely really like those little sights, because they're etched reticles, so it definitely helps. Matter of fact, I might as well tell you the carry gun. I'm carrying the CZ P10C this week as well, and it does have the ACSS primary arms, hollow sun, the little chevron with the big ring, and you can turn that ring off if you don't want it. Just have the chevron. That's what I'm carrying this week. So I would show it, but I can't. But it's right there. So that's what I've been rolling with. Also, I'm in Ruston. So I did, if y'all are ever in Ruston, Louisiana, there's actually a really good place called the Log Cabin. Um, this is the second time I've been there, and they have really, really good food. It's kind of like home cooking, but it's called the Log Cabin, and I went there this evening before the chat and ate. It was really good. Went there first time, and I had the pork chops, um, smoked pork chops, and yeah, they were good too. Oh. Yeah, and I've got to catch up on some videos. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've been testing. I've got some stuff coming up on, or that I'm going to be re-reviewing. Um, if y'all are interested in something like that, and if there's anything that y'all want to see a re-review of, or my opinions after so long or whatever, I keep everything documented in books. So I'm a big note taker, especially on all my firearms. I have my round counts. Um, when I clean it, I'll write it in the book. I have books for each gun. Um, just so I can, for maintenance, if I need to change springs, hey, I've reached this many rounds, blah blah blah. Or if I notice any damage, like especially with bolt carrier groups on rifles, I've got this wear pattern. Here's where it's wearing. I'll actually write it all out. Sometimes draw little diagrams to see if that wear is just normal break-in wear, or if it's getting worse. That'll tell me, hey, something's not lined up correctly or whatever. I write that kind of stuff in the books too. So if y'all want to see anything like that, let me know, and we can go back and do that. I just think it's a good thing. Looks like Mateo does that as well. I think it's a really good thing to kind of just document, your stuff, especially with high round counts. Um, you know, because like I said, when I had the original Staccato C2, I had over 5,000 rounds through that thing before the frame warped. And, you know, I mean, I had Full Metal Jacket, how many rounds of different mags of Full Metal Jacket, grains, all that stuff, because I was trying to think, what the hell did that? But come to find out, it was the early edition, and it was just improper annealing or coating in their case. But the new Gen 2 they gave me, no problems with that at all. Let's see here. David is saying, I am wondering, it's illegal to change a pistol stock barrel to a 16 and then get a chassis to shoulder it and change it back with a stock barrel to take out the chassis to the original pistol. If it starts as a pistol, you can put a longer barrel on it and a stock. If it's a rifle configuration from the factory, you cannot put a shorter barrel on it. So that's the way it goes. And I'm almost 1,000% correct. That is correct. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yes, if it starts as a pistol, it can become a rifle and then revert back again. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Oh, don't tease us. What did you eat tonight? I ate something that wasn't that healthy, but it was awesome. I had fried chicken, a salad, and a loaded baked potato, and it was pretty damn good. Wasn't that healthy though, so I didn't want to brag about it. Pistol Pete says, I'm waiting for the CZ Shadow 2 compact review. I definitely want to get my hands on one. I haven't been to Texas, or Texas Gun Experience did not have one. I was up there Saturday seeing all the guys. They did not have one in stock yet because I wanted to put my hands on it, all that other stuff. I think it's going to be a great gun. I would probably own one. I would probably own one. The only thing is that flip safety. It's smooth. It's not a ledge like I like. But if it's anything like the normal Shadow 2s, which I'm sure it is, I could get a Shadow 2 extended safety and probably snap it right in when I remove that one. Because I put a Shadow 2 extended safety on my TSO and it fit great. I didn't even have to do any blending or anything. And it should be the same for the Shadow 2 compact. But, I don't know that for sure. So that's why I wanted to look at it. If you're buying a gun from Big J, ask him for the gun facts. Well, I could give it to you. I've just always been a record keeper. That's just what I am. Even from customer notes, I've got books. I'm a big note taker. Always been that way. So, as a technician, I always did that as well. As setting processes in place, I always did that as well. I'm just very detail oriented, so to say. And writing notes down helps me be that way because my memory is not what it used to be. Yeah, and I know that a lot of people, get their phones, put all the notes in their phones, and I do have a lot of information in my phone as well, but it's nothing like just me shorthanding it out real quick. And also, I write a lot of abbreviations that I know that people look at it and go, "What the hell's that say?" But it's just nomenclature from over the years. Um, like PCM, stuff that stands for Power Control Module, BCM, Body Control Module, just little acronyms like that I've always shortened. And I've got words that I do the same too as well. Like sometimes when I'm writing fast, instead of saying two like TO, I'll just write two. But I always know what it means. Mateo had oven-baked chicken cauliflower with pasta salad. Well, two of those sound really good. I can't do cauliflower. Just never been a cauliflower guy. I know a lot of people like it, but I just can't do it. King Cobra. Oh yeah, on the Shadow 2 compact, yeah, definitely waiting for the price and for more of them to be out in the wild. That's why they're keeping the price kind of crazy. What's up, Rodema? How are you? Yeah, I have them all. I have all mine logged as well. And that's another thing, as far as my insurance, your home insurance and stuff like that. You need to keep that log. Also, I highly recommend you to film it. Um, your guns and things like that, because if there's ever a fire, you need to show, you know, um, all the accessories, keep all your receipts. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of receipts for all the cloud defensive lights, for all of my dots, for all my optics. I have everything. So if they're ever gone or trashed or whatever, I can prove it with receipts. Because if you don't have the receipts, you didn't buy it. Just letting you know where they stand. It's a hell of a lot of receipts, but it could pay off in the long run. Yeah, I like vegetables too. I just can't do cauliflower. I mean, I like broccoli and spinach. I can eat spinach, but I prefer it raw. But I like spinach as well. One thing that impresses me, how a spouse of a gun, but can't believe he got a high price gun for $100. That was really funny because a buddy of mine, he's like, "How do you get away with having all those guns?" And I said, I'm just talking about the black ones, but I just said, "Hey, if they're all black, that you remember that's a gun you've had forever. It's not a new gun." But when you get them all customized and tricked out, my wife's like, "I've never seen that gun before," and I'm like, "Never seen that purse before either." I mean, it's all good. We just joke around. She buys what she wants. I buy what I want. She knows I'm a gun guy. She knew that when she met me. Wendy's chili. Sometimes it's not bad. I have tried cauliflower. It was like kind of baked to where it was really crispy with sea salt on it. I did it. I made it. Some people, wanted some cauliflower, so I did it. But I did it where I shaved it. Um, kind of shaved it thin. Uh, you know, Slid it on my little shaver and rubbed a little bit of olive oil on it, put some sea salt on it, and then I baked it, and it was kind of crisp and kind of like a cauliflower chip. And man, they loved those things. But I ate them, and I was like, but they were having fits over them. Yeah, and I know that. I mean, I'm sure that little Shadow 2 Compact's a great gun. I have no doubt it is. And yeah, he can definitely shoot. Wendy's chili's not bad. It's okay. It's not like I wouldn't. I mean, like I always think, homemade, like real homemade chili is way, way better. But for a fast food chili, it's not horrible. Don't ever eat Wendy's and then a chocolate frosty. Oh boy, somebody spent some bathroom time. It sounds like. I've seen people doing it before. I'm like I said, I'm just not a big cauliflower person myself. And if you look at a big chunk of it, it just reminds me of brains. Yeah, don't use the seed oils. Um, yeah, you're on the right track there, boss. Oh, Frosty has a lot of nutmeg in it. What's up, Norwood? How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Well, it's 8:03. Anybody have any other items they would like to discuss really quickly? And we will get out of here if no one has anything or any questions I can answer. Knowing what I know, man, that's the bad thing, Mateo. You know, if you ever worked somewhere and they did food and, then you go back, you're like, I wouldn't eat that. Um, I had friends that worked at like fried chicken places and they were telling me the nightmares. And I'm like, ew. So I'm sure it's kind of like that at every one of the fast food places. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Wow. Damn. That's pretty impressive. Let's see here. What's a good tourniquet? The cat, what is it, Gen 7? The cat, oh God, we were talking about it. Was it Cat T? I mean, I've got a bunch of them, but I can't remember the damn name of them. I think it's the gray Cat T. Long John Silver's, yeah. No more of the boat. No more of the boat. Um, let's see here. How's the Staccato XL versus XC? I'm wondering if I should sell my Staccato XL DPO with threaded barrel for an XC. Depends on if you want the shorter barrel, because the XC is definitely shorter, not much, but well, yeah, it is actually. I think it's like four, or no, it's what is it, 4.8 inches or something, and the other one's like 5.30. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It just depends on if that's what you want. If you want a built-in comp, I mean, the XL is a great pistol. It just depends on if you want the integral comp or not, the Allen barrel. Um, if you don't shoot it suppressed, I mean, you can actually put a comp on the XL, but it's going to be freaking huge. It's going to be really long. Um, it just depends on what you're looking for. They're both great guns. Cat T, the real one, yeah. Yeah, I had a Dave's Hot Chicken. I tried it when I was in Oregon. It was pretty good. Yes. Brian, on the back of your stock, where your little stock is, the little cutout right back there, you can actually put a Cat T in there and you can put Ranger bands through it. And that way you can just pull it off. Seen a lot of people doing that. So that way you can have it on your AR-15 if you want to do it that way. It just kind of goes right into your opposite side. If you're going to use your right cheek, it would be right here. Just goes right inside there. And you can make the Ranger bands with inner tubes off, bicycle inner tubes. Just cut them. Norwood's asking, which one would you get for your next purchase, CZ S Compact or DWX? Probably the CZ S2 Compact because it has a rail. The DWX doesn't. I do like the single action trigger, but I like the double action as well. So, or double action, single action. But if it doesn't have a rail, I don't want it. I forgot. I guess it was Pistol Pete that reminded me. I forgot the DWX Compact did not have a rail. Now, if you're talking about the full size DWX, I mean, yeah, I think that's going to be an awesome gun. But is it really any different than the Staccatos I already have, other than it takes the P10F mag? Not really. But I do have a lot of P10F mags. No storage of gas on my stocks. Um, Maybe I didn't understand what you were saying. No, somebody was talking about putting a Cat T and having it on their AR. Where your stock is, you could, where your little cutout where you pull it and pull it back, you could just put a Cat T in there, a tourniquet, so you could carry it on your AR, personally on your AR. I have them on my belt. I've got a little holder on the battle belt where they're on there. But anyway, we will go and shut it down. It's about 8:09. I hope all of y'all have a wonderful evening and a good upcoming weekend. I'll get some videos out. I've got a bunch of them that I've got to get knocked out. And then also after this chat, if there's anything you want to see as far as a follow up on, like, hey, how many rounds do you have on your whatever gun. And what do you think of it now after you've had it for so long and shot it so much or whatever? And I can do some updates on that if that's what you're wanting, or any kind of gear reviews, holster reviews, optic reviews, anything like that. If y'all want follow-ups on it, I do have some I need to catch up on that are newer. So I will get those done and I'll just release them as we go. But if there's anything specifically you want to see, please let me know. Just leave a comment down below. Y'all all hit that like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm because a lot of my videos have been getting demonetized. Even these live chats, a lot of them get demonetized. So I don't know. Who knows, but whatever. But I appreciate y'all so much. Hello, Dan L. How are you? But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great evening. Leave comments, all that good stuff. And y'all be safe out there. Love one another. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Take care, everyone. Y'all have a great night.